The Spanish announce table.
Tom, I don't know if you noticed, Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch are doing it.
Well, they're not doing it, but we do know they like each other, right? Hey, they could still be saving themselves for marriage. We don't know.
True.
That has not been told to us as an audience
if we're
member.
going to look at their, at least his history.
Hey, we're peeking behind the curtain then. I'm saying the character Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch, all we know is they like each other. Mm-hmm. They're smitten with each other.
They are smitten. They're smitten, and it's flooded the everything. It's flooded the everything. And I guess we're going to get, I think I said at SummerSlam, but apparently I forgot about Extreme Rules. We're going to get them and Baron and Lacey. What do you think of that?
Well, I think if I'm predicting this as a lifelong WWE viewer, I think what will happen is we get the payoff of a kiss after the match, right? Matt Hardy and Lita had a big kiss. Triple H and Stephanie McMahon have had a big kiss. There's always a big kiss, a big monumental moment in these on-screen relationships. As of now, we haven't seen that. So I can see through hell, fire, and brimstone, Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch come out the other side successful. And because of that, they're drawn closer together. And that's where we get the big kiss and hug. And they love each other. This is so great.
I like the potential of this storyline, but I fear it's going to end up just like you said, and then it's going to be over, right? They're going to win at Extreme Rules. There'll be a kiss. Baron Corbin will go on being an asshole with something else. Lacey Evans will go beat up somebody else. I want this to go on for a while. And I want the storyline, the real intriguing part between Corbin and Lacey Evans, right? Like remember, like he was like, hey, and who knows, maybe we'll be the next power couple, right? And I want announcers and stuff to be like, oh, here's the possible new power couple. And I want her to be like, hey, no, we're not like, no, right? Like, no. And I want him to like not even have really thought of that. Like he doesn't actually have interest, but he'd be like, what the fuck does that mean? You know what I mean? Like, screw you, right? So then he's trying to be like, hey, fuck you, right? Like, so he's showing off a little bit, right? And then maybe she's like, all right, right? But then he's like, nah, screw that, right? So you get that tension between them, right? They kind of like each other, but they hate each other, right? But they're working together, right? That kind of thing. And then they're like, at some point, like even Becky and Seth could start arguing, and be like, well, geez, why don't you show me that kind of attention? Why aren't you trying to impress me like that, right? Like, I mean, there could be so much this could carry on for a while if it was written in a storyline, right, with characters and dialogue. That's what we're missing here.
I will say that the wrinkle in this story that's different than most that I actually really like because of 2019 and not everything is how it's always been is the damsel in distress was Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch went for the save to him, right? It's always been Lita's caught behind Triple H and Stone Cold and Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy save her, right? But in this case, it was Seth Rollins was essentially 2-on-1 because Lacey was the ref and Baron Corbin was his opponent. And it was Becky Lynch that came in for the save. So I enjoy that. I think the interesting wrinkle could be how Seth Rollins adjusts to being the one being saved, right? So he was saved at Stomping Ground. Okay, right? He's okay with that. We're going to say that you're the man's man. I'm fine with it. I was the man first, but whatever. Like if he just said something like that, right? If he was like, you are the man. I did say that I was the man first, and people kind of identified me as that. But whatever. It's cool. Hey, it's your thing. Love you, babe. You're great.
Money off it. That's great.
Yeah, everything's great. Love the shirt. All that's
the money,
awesome.
So
Yeah, and then Seth Rollins gets put in another, disadvantage, and Becky makes the save again, and then you get the Baron Corbins, the Bobby Lashleys, the Jinder Mahals saying like, hey man, why don't you get your wife to come? All the criticisms that Triple H gets when they make the thing about Stephanie, right? Oh, do you have to ask Stephanie for permission? Do that with Seth, and let's see how that storyline goes with Becky Lynch.
My life would go if in any kind of setting like this too. They'd be like, "Oh, really? To go check with your wife?" I'd be like, "Yes, actually," but she's going to be okay with it.
Now, where where I personally hope this storyline gets the payoff, this is where I want it to go, is breakups always happen, but it's, again, the guy ends up being the jerk and yada, yada, yada. There's been one storyline where Trish Stratus turned on Chris Jericho and sided with Christian, but that was all just because she never really liked him in the first place. This, we've already established they are in love. I want Becky Lynch. Well, no, I want Becky Lynch to continue to save Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins getting upset with, hey, I don't always need saving. Becky Lynch, we find out later, is tired of always having to save Seth Rollins. I want a man that's as man as me. That's what she could say. But I want the payoff to be the two are in the ring after another tag team against, Jinder Mahal and Alicia Fox, whatever it is. Brock Lesnar's music hits. He looks to the stage. She takes a step back, low blows him.
Yeah.
He comes in, gets the cover, 1, 2, 3, and then that's when Becky Lynch is like, I was tired of having to save you. I want a man who's man enough to be with me. Maybe have her go with Brock Lesnar. I wouldn't have her do that, but I would just have her as the heel.
And it's all perfect. The only thing I would change is because it's Seth Rollins, she's got to hit him in the back with a chair. Right? Like,
now that would be perfect.
Right. Yeah. She's got to hit him.
That would be perfect.
They see Brock Lesnar hits. They both grab chairs, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, we got this, right? They even like tap the chairs, right? And then whap. And then new champ. Done.
That would be, that's the detail that is perfect. I don't know if, but maybe they do grab chairs because it's Brock Lesnar.
Right.
And that's how Seth Rollins is beating Brock Lesnar lately. Right. So it makes sense why he would grab a chair.
And that's how
she grabbed one too.
And
it's
all history.
Then it's full circle. And then that's where you could tell a really interesting story. Now we're going down a rabbit hole here, but that's where you could get really good, because one of the most interesting stories in the last 10 years to me, now it was very vanilla and watered down, and it wasn't as told as good as I wanted it to be. But remember when Rock beat John Cena at WrestleMania 28, and then at WrestleMania 29, John Cena was like, do you realize what that loss did to me? I got a divorce. I went on a losing streak. Like, this is my my time for redemption. You could have Becky Lynch turning on Seth Rollins and Seth Rollins going full circle and was like, okay, I understand. Like, have him fall down the bottom of the ladder where even the 24/7 champion, R-Truth, if it's still him, is like, you want a shot at this title? He's like, I don't even have the confidence to beat you. I don't even know.
Like, I can't even.
He's like, okay.
Anymore, right?
Yeah. And then you have something spark the resurgence. And that's where he could say, oh, you guys want to see this? Well, I'm going to burn it down. Then burn it down would make a little bit more sense, because now he's a fucking phoenix. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm going. But you know what? Nothing will happen. They'll kiss.
No, they'll kiss, and then they'll split up.
Becky Lynch is dating. Becky Lynch is dating Seth Rollins. Neat. And then they'll just go their separate ways.
Then they'll face Charlotte and Andrade soon enough.
And and in any time that they need a tribute to the troops mixed tag match, it's those two versus Charlotte and Andrade.
The Spanish announce table.